The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. So there's two ways that I could introduce this show.
Okay, I'll bite. What are the two ways?
One is as the professional Dr. Dave, who simply says, okay, I'm here to teach you about improving your sexual intimacy, about initiating mutually, and about variation, and all the other sex questions.
You know how boring that sounds.
Well, or I could possibly option two, reveal the little boy inside most and say, sex toys. Well, I mean, face it.
You've been dying to say that.
Every man would say, oh, I'm interested in this show.
Oh, absolutely every man's listening. Are you kidding?
No.
They didn't even need toy. All they needed was sex.
Okay, but the cool thing is we have a passion coach for this show.
Am I the only one? This is just cracking me up. Passion coach. Do you not picture somebody's in your bedroom and they're going to give you the signals of what to do next? Okay, or they're going to say, wait, whoa, we got to go back to the playbook. You didn't do it right.
Pick it up a little there, over there.
I know.
No, here's the deal. There's going to be no passion coaches in our bedroom, at least not in mine.
Okay, well, good for you. You won't have one. I wouldn't mind learning some new plays.
Okay.
I've got questions, and that's what's really exciting. But you know, as much fun as we have with this show, it is very, very important to me because I believe that sex is really underestimated.
And underachieved.
When it comes to relationships. We think it's like just this perk or this bonus, when in reality, it is a key component to relationship.
Yeah. Some people see it as simply the cherry on top of the chocolate sundae.
Cherry.
Okay, but really it's the decadent and delightful, unbelievable dessert at the end of a full course meal.
Cherry. I'm still on cherry.
Could you get over it?
Okay. The other thing I do think, though, is, okay, let's pretend there's a road to passion.
Okay.
We've got a whole lot of people stopping short and not going to the end. I mean, some of them are frustrated, but they're like, oh, well, I don't even know what to do. And others say, well, at least I'm on the road. And the truth is, I don't get that. Why don't we want to get to the end?
Okay, but because some have actually lost their roadmap or maybe even afraid to ask for directions.
Oh, good point.
So if you're lost or stranded in your sex life, stay with us because we're going to ask all the questions
behind closed doors.
Okay. So I've heard of football coaches, basketball coaches, soccer coaches, but not too many passion coaches.
I bet there's a whole lot of volunteers for that kind of coaching.
Ooh, I think so. Now, if you could go one-on-one with a passion coach and ask any question you wanted that wasn't either belittled or published.
Okay, what questions would you want answers for?
I'm overheating already.
Well, the exciting thing is we do get to go one-on-one and we do get the answers. So welcome, passion coach, Eryn-Faye Frans.
All right.
Okay, I'm not the expert, but I tell you, the more people I speak with, doesn't it seem like when it comes to sex, that it's all this mentality of, I'm the only one who wants to know that, or I'm the only one with this problem, or I don't understand.
Absolutely. That is one of the number one things that I see in my coaching room is the feeling of isolation. I am the only one who will ever ask you this kind of question.
It's not just in the passion room, though. I mean, because as people come and talk to me,
The passion room.
well, there's a powder room. I figured this is the passion room.
Wow. I see the house plans going up for sale. Everybody's now got a passion room.
Well, that's the bedroom, for crying out loud. All men know that. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
So here's the deal, though. In counseling, it's the same way. It doesn't matter what the problem is, whether it's relational or physical. They're saying, no one really faces this before. Like in 30 years of marriage, I haven't, counseling, I haven't seen this before. It's always there. And people feel they're isolated and alone in it, right?
That's right. And a deep sense of shame as well because of that.
But you know what we did, preparing for this show, you're aware, of course, that we looked at a lot of people's, what do men think the top questions, women, what are the top questions you're asked, what are the top questions I'm asked? We kind of put them together, all right? And we came up with, first of all, some questions on initiation. Do men and women initiate differently?
Yes.
Okay, next question.
Men are very direct. They're very overt. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
You ready?
Honey, I'm
you
home.
ready? That's exactly right. That's so
And you know
true.
what's funny? They raise their eyebrow like the same way, so they really don't even need the words. They
That's
just
right.
have to just do that little thing. You're like,
just
oh, I know what
cock
that
the
means.
eyebrow, for sure.
That's just a signal. isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's rather universal as well.
Okay.
But women are much more subtle. A woman might want to sit down and talk to you about her day, and that's the way she's initiated.
Yeah, okay, what? Guys, did you catch that? We're in deep trouble. Okay, women are subtle when they're signaling. Okay, we want signs,
we're
smoke signals.
subtle signalers.
We need help. Okay, but what about one of the questions was from the guys? They actually said, "How do I get my spouse to initiate more sexually?" So how does a guy get his wife to kind of jack it up a little?
You know, the number one thing is to embrace your wife's sexuality. Help her. A lot of women really struggle when we get started in our sexual walk. They don't know who they are. They have no sexual personality. That's why a lot of women in their 50s will say they're having the best sex they have ever had. But if you can encourage her, tell her, oh, I love it when you do this. Oh, you're fantastic at this. Oh, yeah, try that again. Encouraging that sexual persona of her is going to help her initiate.
I have a sexual personality. Like, that is really interesting. That's empowering. That's cool.
That's scary. Okay.
And it's something that gets squelched down oftentimes in childhood. And we have to draw forth, and that's when
Talk about multiple personalities. I've counseled that before, but not quite like this. All right, but we got another question. How do you encourage mutual initiation? How is that possible?
Well, you know, you might roll over in the bed at the same time together and look at each other at the same time, but someone is going to have to take the step, right? Make the touch, say the word, whatever.
Okay, there are
Someone
definitely
has to
differences between men and women with initiation, but what about when it comes to the whole idea of just variety sexually?
Now we're talking.
Is that a gender difference, or is that personality?
That is a personality difference. Absolutely. I'm glad that you said that. Because
I might disagree. Go ahead.
Some people, they love to try variety in every area of their life, and they're trying change all the time. Other people, the tried and true is what they love. And so those two people have to come together, and they have to have a level of conversation to meet common ground. Try things on the other person.
I have to agree that the personality issue is clearly there. But as I've counseled so many couples over the years, there tends to be the lead horse is often the guy wanting to try new things. That's really what I've experienced along the way too. So
do women not want variety?
No, see, I would disagree with that completely. Because I meet a lot of women who are desperate for variety. They just need to learn the language to present that to their man.
But remember, the women that are coming to you are the ones going to passion coach.
That's true.
I deal with the average women coming in crisis with their husbands, right?
Well, you can send them to me then.
You're going to be going to her for help, okay? Believe me, that's good. I have an interesting one, though. And this was actually one of the questions the guys asked, okay? They went through the trauma of watching their wife give birth.
Yes.
I mean, there's gore before that baby comes out, right? Okay? And now it's
And
hard.
after.
It's hard.
Gore.
Well, no, I'm telling you. Okay, so this man asked, he says, well, how do I get over the kind of the queasiness of initiating sexuality with my wife after all that?
You know, the number one thing that men say is they're afraid of hurting their wives afterwards, because there's so much trauma that takes place to the pelvic floor, even in good delivery situations, and they don't want to hurt her. So my big recommendation to them is you have to go slow, use a lubricant if you need to, so that things are very easy on her, and just start with genuine affection. Start there.
What about the flip side of that with the women who have just given birth, and especially those who are nursing, they're getting a lot of their touch, you know what I mean, and their feel, and they're feeling close, and maybe the thought of more hands all over them is not as appealing.
It can be difficult. You know, a woman who is breastfeeding, the last thing she wants touched is her breast. She's getting that, you know, every 2.5 hours or so.
A little tender sometimes.
A little
too.
tender sometimes, absolutely. So start with non-sexual touch. And that's a great place to reconnect, particularly in the 6 weeks when you're not supposed to have sex after you've given birth through baby. Do lots of non-sexual touch, lots of warmth, lots of communication, so that when you're ready physically to do that, you are ready emotionally as well.
Now, this is Marriage Uncensored with Dave and Christie. You might notice just a little bit more Marriage Uncensored, okay? Next segment, simple topics like orgasm, oral sex, and G-spots. Stay with us. The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
I love the quote by Candace Bergen. She said, I may not be a great actress, but she said, I am the greatest at screen orgasms. She said, 10 seconds of heavy breathing, roll your head from side to side, a slight asthma attack, and then die a little.
Oh,
That is great. That is
oh my
great.
goodness, we got a picture in our mind already, and that is enough. But a lot of guys are asking, one of their questions was, how do I know if my wife's not faking it?
You don't. You don't. Just plain and simple, you don't.
They're as good actors as Candice Bergen. Okay, I get it.
But think about this. A woman, when she's having different types of orgasm, is going to experience that orgasm in different ways. That's one person. So, I mean, you don't know whether she's faking it at all, especially if she's been
So if
practicing
she starts
for years.
whistling afterwards, it's good, I guess. Okay, maybe not whistling.
Do pay attention to the cues afterwards, but you know, in the throes of it, you're not going to.
And there are different types of orgasms,
Yes,
and many people
absolutely.
don't know that.
They do not know that.
Okay, what are they?
Well, the clitoral orgasm for the woman is the most prevalent. Over 70% of women have to have stimulation in the clitoral area in order to have an orgasm. But then there's also G-spot orgasms. There's PC muscle orgasms. We recently had a coaching client in who said his wife could orgasm just through breast stimulation alone. All different types of orgasms.
Really?
Wow. Okay. So now this whole topic here, what if a woman is asking this question, and I've counseled a few, I don't know if I've experienced an orgasm.
Very common.
Okay.
Very common question. In fact, it's one of the most common questions I get. As far as we know, everyone can have an orgasm. There might be 2 to 5% of the population that are truly anorgasmic, and that's because they've had an injury, trauma to the area, have some sort of scar tissue. Everyone else can have an orgasm, so it's just a process of relaxing and learning how to do so.
Yeah, getting it straight, figured it out.
Okay.
Go to passion
It's
coach.
it's a fun process. It's worth your time.
What about oral sex?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk
Great.
about men and women. Give us some tips as women and give us some tips as men.
Okay. Top tip for men, learn Spanish. Learn how to roll your arse. For real. Now, the tongue is a very versatile organ. It can be hard. It can
I'm
be
going
soft,
to the
it can be wide,
library
it
and
can
I'm
be
getting a CD on how to speak Spanish. And
What are you talking about, my dear?
Absolutely. But the
Okay.
top tip for women is don't be afraid to explore. And don't feel like you have to do it all the way. Oral sex is great just as foreplay for
Define
men.
all the way.
All the way to ejaculation.
Okay.
You don't have to do that. Some women get a really sore jaw, they have a gag reflex, all these sorts of things really frighten them. If they can just think of oral sex as a great way to have foreplay, they're going to be much more relaxed.
We're sliding in very uncensored here. So we must go all the way. G-spots. What are they? Where are they? Keep going.
G-spots are phenomenal. I recently had a lady call me up after a coaching experience on G-spots specifically, and she said, you know, I knew you could have good orgasms. I knew you could even have great orgasms, but I did not realize you could have an exorcist orgasm. And I said, honey, when your head is spinning around in circles, you know that you have found your G-spot. So they are definitely worth looking for.
Okay, so for all the people who are saying, where's the map that I buy? How do they get there?
G-spot in the woman is located 1 to 3 inches inside the vagina to the front. So if she's lying down, it's going to be on top. And you can use a come hither type of motion to stroke that. Now, here's the key. Most oftentimes, the first time you feel that, you're going to need to run to the bathroom, or you're going to feel that sensation because the G-spot's really close to the urethra. But if you can move past that, it is a very pleasant experience. And then as women get more comfortable with that, they can actually have a full body orgasm, which is very different than the clitoral orgasm.
Okay, guys, you with me? He's just going, ha, ha, ha. Okay, hang in there. We're learning together. We're learning together. Stay with me. I need you here right now. Okay.
Okay, we can't do one without the other. What about a
Okay,
man's
there is
G-spot?
another. Hang in there, guys.
The men do have a G-spot as well. It is the prostate gland, so it's located in the anus. Women, if you're interested in that, please do put a condom on just for both of you, for your comfort, and you can actually move up inside the anus and stroke the prostate gland. It's enormously wonderful sensation for the guys. They love it.
Okay. Moving along. We're going to move into toys in the next segment. Do you have a toy box in your bedroom? No, not the one that your kids put all their dolls in. Of another type, all right? And matter of fact, you need to go to Eryn-Faye's website because it'll give you lots of good education. Stay with us for more on the toys. The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
One of my dear girlfriends just went through menopause, and as a result, her body was just not physically getting aroused anymore. And we had this conversation, and she's like, Christy, I want to enjoy sex again. Like, I mean, my goodness, I want to have a good time. And I'm like, well, of course. And so as we talk, that was when she realized that she wanted to start bringing toys in.
Absolutely.
To help, like a bridge physically, to get her to a new place.
Many women in menopause have described it to me as they have lost their orgasm. It's one of the physical changes that takes place when you lose all the estrogen and it takes a dip. And so bedroom toys are a great way to help you find that orgasm again.
Okay, so now we're talking about sexual aids, okay?
Yes.
So let's start with, okay, what is the purpose of sexual aids?
There's tons of reasons why. In fact, we could do an entire show on bedroom toys alone.
Okay, but some people, remember, some people are thinking, shouldn't our relationship be enough, right? That's what they're thinking. They feel protected by that idea.
And that makes sense. You know, the number one reason that I find that couples absolutely love bedroom toys is because it helps keep those lines of communication open. And I had this lady who came into my coaching room, and she said to me, I've been married for 30 years, and I absolutely love my husband, but our sex life is really tanking, and I need some help. What can you recommend? So we got a small bedroom toy, and on our way home from that coaching experience, she calls up hubby and says, by the way, I'm bringing home a bedroom toy, but it needs batteries. So she gets home, and
he said, I can handle that. I got the batteries. How much do you want?
That's exactly what he did. He was sitting in bed. Every single battery they owned in the whole entire house was spread out on the bed. And she came back to me 3 months later. I saw her in another setting, and she said it made all the difference in the world because we started talking about sex again. And so 30 years on, this is a good thing.
You see, that's a big signal, though, right? I mean, to the guy, when she takes that initiative to talk to you, and then takes a step in that direction, he's hearing something.
That's exactly right.
He's
hearing, he's responding to it, obviously.
You know,
yes.
She wants this better, right? And that's good.
But what are some other reasons?
Other reasons are to help fix physical problems. So if you have a woman who's struggling with orgasm, that's phenomenal. If you have a man who is trying to keep an erection for a longer period of time, struggling with that, a bedroom toy is fantastic. If you want face-to-face simultaneous orgasms, this is very difficult without the use of a bedroom toy.
Okay, so cool here. Those of you who are older, you can grow older without growing lame.
It's true. It's true. Our bodies change as we get older, and you need to have communication about this and acceptance of it. But there are ways that we can make them a little bit better than they typically would be au naturel.
Okay, and I'm thinking Christmas time. It always comes out, Consumer Report, the top toys for your kids, right?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
So
the catalog. Oh, I want this one.
Okay, I don't need a catalog, but I want to know, what are the top toys for men and women?
For men, top toys are C-rings. They are silicone, typically, rings that go to the base of the penis, and they help hold an erection, they help hold that blood flow in, but they also make it for when he does have his orgasm, it's an exploding orgasm for him. So the men love the sensation. For women, top toy is a bullet. It's a small egg-shaped vibrator. It's little, it doesn't look like much, but it sure packs a punch, and women enjoy that.
Okay. I just think I need a fan for a minute. All right. Any other?
Well,
what is number 2? Number 3? I'll just let you do some talking here.
You know, another thing is couples toys. And these are toys that are designed to go around the guy, so he is going to get some stimulation, but they also stimulate the woman in the clitoral area, which, as we talked about earlier, the woman needs stimulation there more often than not in order to have an orgasm. So this really does enable couples to come together and at the same time enjoy
now,
the
some
experience.
people are concerned that, like, can I get addicted to a vibrator? You know what I mean? So that now I'm never going to be able to have an orgasm or even enjoy sex without it.
I think those people have watched too much Sex in the City. That's my personal opinion on that, okay? No, you cannot get addicted to a vibrator. However, if that is the only form of orgasm that you are having, you might become dependent on it. So if that's something that you don't want to be in your life anymore, you don't want that dependency, you can simply put it in the bedside table and put it away for a little while, and then your body will become reacclimated to different forms of stimulation.
I got 2 things going on here. The bedside table. You got teenagers? Don't put it in the bedside table.
You must lock.
What is this, Dad?
Lock.
Okay. But listen, seriously, those of you that are watching, I want you to understand something. Right from the start, we were created to have mutual, healthy sexuality between men and women. And if it's not there for you, I mean, I've coached from a relational side, I've coached from a physical side, so many couples who are struggling in this area, can't talk about it, can't work it through, whether it's a passion coach, getting answers. Don't be satisfied for something less than all it can be for both men and for women. That's got to be there for both of you.
Okay, but from both of you, I'd love to hear what happens when one person in the marriage and relationship is, you know what I mean, is concerned about it's not satisfying and wanting more, and the other one is just, I just don't want to go there.
They're not willing to talk about it, you mean?
Talk about it or participate.
Or participate.
I mean, because how crushing. Can you imagine if that woman brought her toy home and she was all excited and he said, no.
He'd be dead.
You know, it goes back to communication skills, and we need to sit down. We need to be able to talk about these things. That is so crucial, because if you do not have the communication, all the sex in the world is not going to fix the gaps in your marriage.
Yeah. Okay, listen, Eryn-Faye, home run. Thank you for helping us out here so much.
Yeah.
And you know, if you want more of the show, you can go to the website, because we're going to talk a little more about some of the things we didn't even get to here. I want you to stay with us for the bottom line, because we're going to give you more tips to improve your love life. Stay with us. The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, I'll tell you one thing. All the men watching had their sex questions answered and their eyes blasted wide open.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with her eyes being wide open, and I love finding out what turns my man on. And I love all the questions.
Yeah, we love to learn.
Well, and I love that we're the place to find the answers.
So you can go to our website, you can ask all the questions that weren't answered on the show by some of our life and passion coaches. They're waiting.
Okay, because I tell you what, the truth is we all want to please each other. I mean, I want to be a great lover, so let's start some conversations. What does a good lover say? What does a good lover do?
Yeah, it's really important. Matter of fact, even say, what do you want to add to your sex life? Talk to your spouse. I mean, you want to look in areas of variation and freedoms, and so talk to each other about that.
And I tell you, there are two components that are so important. Okay, when it comes to sex, you've got the relational. That's where I feel loved, and I feel like I'm important to you. But you've got the physiological. That's where it's like my arousal was all that mattered to you.
Total agreement. Got to understand that the stronger the friendship relationship, the greater potential sex life. But once there's this deep trust and this sense of security between the two of you, then there's a whole new dimension going on there to improve in the area of great sex.
Okay, so we've got a challenge. We challenge you to add a new fun element to your sex life.
Okay, in the next month, get an item to bring in the bedroom, maybe start a toy box.
Okay, and we want to challenge you, do something about building your relationship. For instance, why don't you have a conversation about when do I feel closest to you outside of the bedroom?
That's beautiful. Here you go. There's more of the show on the website. We're going to get the things that we didn't get to here.
Because we never have enough time.
We never have enough time. We're all about improving what happens in the four walls of your house, and this show within the four walls of your bedroom. You'll never regret putting your marriage and family and your sex life first. You take care, and God bless.
Thank you.